Before we get started, enjoy some commercials from our livestream sponsors. Are you running a domain business? Did you know that we offer premium memberships at acorndomains.co.uk and DNForum.com? One membership for both forums. DNForum.com is the oldest active domain name forum in the world, with over 536,000 members and established in 2001. Acorndomains.co.uk is the main online community for the UK domain investors, with over 15,500 members and established in 2004. We offer different premium memberships to help you to reach your business goals, starting from an individual membership, which includes numerous perks, to a platinum membership. For more details, please visit either of the forums or simply leave a comment on this video and we will contact you. Thank you for considering our premium membership. We look towards helping you to reach your business goals.
Hello, good afternoon, Tess. Good evening.
Good afternoon, Helmets. Thank you for having me. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Tess.
I think we're two of the happiest people in the domain industry, you and I.
Thank you. You look absolutely stunning. Thank you.
So do you.
And fantastic big glasses and also trendy and catwomanish.
Oh, this is my first time in my life needing glasses. It's all new.
Really?
Oh, I used to be jealous. I have 5 siblings, and every one of them needed glasses as children, and I didn't. And I was really jealous because they had all these style choices, and I didn't. So I've joined the club.
And did you have to fight yourself? Just, to make the decision, okay, I need glasses, finally. Or did you struggle?
I think I was slow in realizing. I thought, like, I had a headache, or I thought, I think people who've had glasses their whole life probably recognize when, their vision's changing and they need a check. But I didn't realize that was the problem. I just thought maybe I was tired, maybe I needed to eat more protein, or I didn't know what was happening with my eyes. And I was a little slow on the uptake.
They look awesome. And great choice.
Thanks.
Tess, can I ask you, outside the domain field, what is your favorite breakfast?
My favorite breakfast?
Yes.
Oh, well,
happy thoughts.
Yeah. I love eggs. In general, poached is my favorite.
Poached eggs.
I was diagnosed with celiac disease, where you can't eat gluten. Actually, I'll never forget. It was like during NamesCon 2 years ago. So it's like August 2022. So that's really changed how I eat. But I've known my whole family has it. And so I've known my whole life that there was a good possibility. And I just feel like I had a really, me and gluten had a great run for a really long time. So I've learned to eat differently. That's all.
And it just kicked in at some point, yes?
Yeah. So I knew I had the gene.
Yes.
And that can be, activated at any reason, at any time of your life. Stress often triggers that. And I think, I don't think it was a coincidence. It was right after COVID.
Okay.
So
new job. Oh no. Then wasn't. No. You are still with GoDaddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was in the middle of working for them. So, but, yeah. I still think like my deathbed meal would be pasta and pizza, maybe.
Really?
What are you going to do? What's your favorite breakfast?
I love eggs as well. All the different types. poached, scrambled, whatever. I love eggs. I absolutely love eggs for the breakfast. And I love olive oil as well. I don't know, for some reason, God, I'm so hooked to olive oil.
Over the holidays, I bought myself olive oil. I also gave it as a gift, now that I think of it. But I bought like a Meyer lemon
Yes.
infused olive oil and a couple different ones. But now that I know, I'm seeing you in Las Vegas soon. I don't know. Are you bringing a carry-on, or will you check a bag?
I don't know. I haven't. I'm coming with 2 bags. I'm coming with, but yeah. But I'm always coming light. Always coming light.
That's the way to travel.
So
But if you're bringing back some special olive oil, you might need to check a bag. Just saying.
yes, well, taking liquids is quite tricky. It's quite tricky. I always prefer not to have bad experience losing them to the customs. Sadly, you see those. You forget that you have a wine bottle or something, and then you just go through the. Yeah. So Tess, welcome, and I'm so honored that you can be our number one domainer of the month or member of the month.
You can just stop at number one.
Yes,
I'm just number one. Oh, well, video cut out. Tess is number one. Got it.
And those who do not know, we actually just changed Tess's DNForum's name. And I was very surprised when I saw that it was GD-Sales1. And E stands for GoDaddy. And there is Sales 2, Sales 3. I still haven't checked who they are, but you were number one. But you never used the account. That one.
I don't know what I can say about that. I can say that I really led a charge at GoDaddy to become involved in the domain community, right? So Helmets and I both were yesterday at the Zoom ICA meeting, in which we honored Howard New with a Lifetime Achievement Award. And there was a lot of talk about the history and, a little bit about the creation of the ICA. I'm actually going to talk about that. Camila asked me to speak at the ICA members meeting in Las Vegas in a couple weeks, or I guess, maybe 2 weeks, on that topic. So, but yeah, around the time that the ICA was being created, GoDaddy was also trying to turn around its relationship with domain investors, or maybe accurately, they weren't ready to, but some employees at GoDaddy, like myself, saw the need for that and then evangelized and worked with that. And I think, GoDaddy has the best relationship with domain investors now that, they're still a publicly traded company and have to do things for their shareholders too. But yeah, that was a long, long time ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tess, and when did you start officially working for Itcom Domains? When was it?
So in May, I believe May 1st, probably.
Okay.
It was really surprising to me. I didn't know any of the team except for, of course, Joe Alanya,
yes.
Who's been in the domain industry longer than I have. 20 plus years, I believe. And I'm at 18, maybe 18 and a half. I don't know, not counting. I had just had a baby when I started at GoDaddy and had entered the domain space for the first time. So it's easy for me to remember how many years and keep track of it, right? So I started working for IT.com in May of this past year, and I'm working to bring on registrars so that, because to be able to sell or work with a company like IT.com, first you need to be able to buy the domain places, right? So
Absolutely. You
we
have to
work
be
with
at the
different
places. Yes.
registrars and try to, get them to add in the domain. And they all, not only are domain registrars busy in general, but with AI, they're exceptionally busy onboarding. Instead of onboarding a new TLD or a new partnership like that, they're either developing or onboarding different AI products or projects or potential to, have that in the domain registration path. So it's a very, very busy and innovative time for registrars right now.
I'm really curious. So you are starting an exciting new company, very ambitious, very ambitious. IT.com are very ambitious. And I would really love hearing. So now you have to prove yourself. So what do you do? How do you start?
Well,
If you don't mind sharing your experience, I would absolutely love how was your first half a year? What were the victories? What were the realizations? Some interesting new things you discovered, and let us talk about business. And this is also a way how I will learn myself.
okay.
Becoming a better-
So,
Thank you.
so my main background is in the domain aftermarket, right?
Yes.
And who's going to buy a different, non.com really at the end of the day, right? Whether it's .net, .ai, there, all these years .mobi, there's all this storied history of which domains
Yes.
get ranked and which tiering of prioritization, not only from, an SEO perspective, business owners' perspectives, marketing perspective, right? And but there's a bigger picture than just domain name investors. There are so many small businesses, entrepreneurs growing products, and really the zeitgeist of every industry right now. What it really boils down to is community, especially post COVID. But I've been saying this since long before then. This is a decade plus long theme and focus of our generation, of the next generation, is a longing for community. The internet made the world so big that people don't know where they belong, and the
Yes.
world's become more and more disconnected. And so whether it's you have a community that you're at .london or you're at .ai.io, they say something about who you are and help qualify and quantify your place in the world. And when I say quantify, I mean by how good your domain is within that space, right? We can't all afford the oneword.com that we all want. And so, which makes me just want to go look up an auction really quick. I'm not going to say what one because I'm worried I'll get outbid. But in general, right, IT.com, it says something about who you are. And there's an opportunity for people in that space to have a higher level domain than if they bought just a .com or if they bought, something .ai. And really understanding we can't go to businesses and market that and grow that until we have that channel built in the first place where people can go buy it at their preferred registrar.
And
So
what
that
about you? Sorry to interrupt. What about you, Tess? You personally, what is it for? Because for many people, .it.com, and this is not a video to promote .it.com. Those who are watching, this is just a friendly conversation and about the business, about domains. And I have noticed that few of your team see IT.com domains differently.
Hmm.
What about you? Me personally, I see them specifically one of the best possible alternative to .com for IT industry. Nothing else. I don't see Italians really. Sorry, I don't see Italians. I see IT industry. So we have built up jobs.it.com, and we have a full-time person working there. We are in talks with more and more companies, and more and more job alerts are coming up and stuff like that. And what about you?
Well, I think at the end of the day, every domain is what it is to you, right?
Yes.
.me is .me, which is from the country of Montenegro,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And .co is from the country of Colombia.
Colombia.
And
Yes.
they've developed it to be, .co, like a company corporation like that. It's all about, the marketing, but it's also about how consumers see it and choose to utilize it. .buzz, for example, is, like, well, whether you want to talk about news, that kind of buzz, or cannabis, that kind of buzz, whatever .buzz is for you, right? And I think what IT.com is doing is IT is most of the world sees
Yes.
and utilizes the term IT for internet technology. No matter almost what language
Yes.
anyone speaks, everyone around the world gets it and often primarily refers to it as, oh, no pun intended, as IT, right? But that doesn't mean, for example, we have Alessandro Baruffi, who's been in the domain industry for 20 years, and he is Italian. And, so he's just been speaking. It started out speaking to IT companies in Italy because that's where he was.
Well, that's a
And
double hit. Yes.
yeah. And so, we didn't go seek that out or anything, but just you do need to listen to the market, listen to the feedback. And at the end of the day, domains belong to the people, right? And if the
Absolutely.
Italians want to use it and see it that way, great.
And,
But that
every person can see it in his or her own way also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are some things where I really feel like it'd be best marketed as it. I love Joe Alanya talks about the it factor, right?
Okay.
Everybody,
Yes.
we want the it factor in our marketing and our branding, right? How do you get the it factor? And he's like, hey, IT.com has the it factor, right?
Yes.
And
Do it. That. Yes.
yeah. So it's all how you market it and what you want to do with it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think the primary, right, you have to look at the best and highest use case and not, I think that we've done a good job not confusing the consumers, right?
Yes.
So it's IT, and then there's a little bit of Italians and
what I love about you, that you are not going crazy and you are not saying, hey, this is an investment. This is an alternative. No, absolutely not. Go for your .com and stay safe.
Yeah. I mean, so anyone who works with domain names, right? My entire career has been about enterprise organizations and domain investors and the, bridging understanding between the two, right? And it's small businesses building their way up need a domain that gives them credibility but doesn't break the bank. And if they're fortunate enough to lease a, 1-2word.com, that's great. But there are other ways to build. And maybe, not everyone's goal is world domination, right? Some people's goal is to have a side gig or to, just make ends meet for their family and live a peaceful life. So not everyone, when I say total world domination, I mean oneword.com, right?
Yes.
So.
And absolutely. So talking about starting from somewhere. Do you remember yourself starting at IT.com? I'm really curious. What were your first moves?
Oh, I don't know. Definitely a lot of
If you
talking
can
with.
share. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not holding anything back, but I'm also like, wasn't, I don't know. So, I mean, definitely a lot of conversations with Joe Alanya
Yes.
and really trying to understand the positioning because, from the world of domain investment, it's not a name that investors should be buying on large scale, right? I mean, sure, dabble in a couple if you want to.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to promote that.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's an appropriate time and place for everything, right?
Absolutely.
But but coming to understand the market positioning is really how I spent the beginning of my time. And I'd been with the company maybe like 2 weeks, and INTA was coming, which is this, maybe 7,000 attorneys get together once a year. And so, but it was in Singapore, and my son was about to graduate high school. So
Okay.
I didn't want 2 weeks into working for the company to, leave my son for his last week of high school,
Yeah.
right? Um, but it was a neat way to ramp up, because Joe still went to Singapore, and then the conversations we had surrounding that, and what all so many IP attorneys and other IP professionals, paralegals and whatnot as well, what the positioning is to them, and what their understanding and use cases are for it. So that was really the primary focus for onboarding.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I missed of such event at all.
Well, INTA every other year is in the US, and every other year is abroad. So this year it'll be in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'd much rather be in Singapore than in Georgia.
Wow, Georgia. Can you send me the details later on? Maybe
Sure.
via WhatsApp. I'll put them. I will definitely put this event up on the DNForum's calendar. Have you seen?
Okay, I mean, yeah,
Have you
it's
seen
not
our
for
events
you,
calendar?
I'll say it's not cheap. It costs thousands of dollars for your ticket,
Oh
and
no,
it's
then no,
not
thank you.
for
Yeah,
domain
yeah.
investors.
Okay.
It's, every corporate domain registrar goes, some domain brokers go, like very top level brokers, a couple other folks, but it's
Yes.
not for everyone. Yeah, it's all brand protection and, IP understanding.
But then it definitely seems a very, very good fit for the main name industry. Absolutely. Not only
Yes,
investors.
Cedo is
Yes.
we've partnered, IT.com has partnered with Cedo on some different things there, like, um, you know, what do you call the things you give away or stuff like that? Swag.
Okay, thanks. Yes. Okay. Yes, I would love to. I would love to receive a bit more information, and then I will put it up on the calendar. By the way, we have put up those who are watching. We have put up a calendar at dnforum.com. Have you seen it? Events calendar.
No.
Oh yes. So if you go to probably if Tess, maybe you want to go now, on dnforum.com, you will slide down, and there is events calendar, or use Control F command or Command F on your Mac, and search for the calendar. And there is a Google Calendar
Oh, that's
integrated
great. I love that.
with the industry events. And this idea was triggered by me seeing the inner calendar of IT.com.
Oh,
And
really?
yes, and
Cool.
I did improve it. I have added more events. Like, if you're from the industry and if you like events, I absolutely love events.
Oh, and I like that you put in here, you marked it like what is hybrid in person and online.
Yes,
That's
and then
really, really
you can
helpful.
click on any of them. There will be more information. Basically, there are dates. There is a URL, and also you can add them on your calendar.
Yep. And you
I,
know what
I,
I really appreciate, helmets? I know this isn't a big deal necessarily, but just that for usability, I love that when you click on an event, it doesn't take you away from the larger calendar, because
yes,
sometimes you just want to get some quick info and move on. Are
yeah,
you going to Goa, India, to the APTLD conference?
I wanted to. Uh, Leonid declined
Okay.
my application as, though fair play, absolutely fair play. It is for members only.
Ah, okay.
You see, and I'm not a member.
Yep.
Please join, and you can come. I have to admit, yes, I did fill in the application, and I wanted to go to Goa. I really wanted to go to Goa, as it seems that, and now it makes sense for me seeing that they start onboarding new members.
Mm.
If you go to the organization's socials, you will see, hey, we have new member, we have new member, we have new member, and now it all makes sense. You want to
Smart.
attend the event? please join as a member. That's very smart. That is very smart.
Yeah. Oh, this is really helpful, Helmets. I really
Yes.
just so very much appreciate how you bring people together like
It
this.
is. This calendar is mostly for myself. I started it for myself, and then I did put it up for everybody. One of the reasons is that domain summit is still not on the most of the calendars in the industry.
Really?
Yes, we are for some reason center.org, huge, like they're the kings in Europe. They keep ignoring the event. They haven't put it up last year, year before. This year it is not there. I'm done. I'm done talking to them. Like that's okay. Everything's okay. Everything will come with time. Everything comes with time.
Yep.
Yes, everybody's busy. Everybody's busy. There are processes. They haven't noticed us. They are not. We don't have the trust factor. Yes, yet with them. That's okay. That's okay.
Did I tell you that I almost bought domainsummit.com in 2012?
Go on.
So when I left GoDaddy the first time,
Yes.
myself and two former colleagues discussed in depth founding a conference because we had such a pulse on the domain industry
Yes.
and what they needed and wanted and weren't getting. And we knew it was time for a new conference. So we started putting together a plan for a conference. And at the same time, my colleague entered into negotiations with Mike Mann, who was the owner of domainsummit.com. And at the end of the day, the reason that we didn't move forward was because NamesCon was in the process of doing the same thing we were doing.
Yes.
But they were about 3 months ahead of us. And so we realized, there's never going to be two conferences that are serving the exact same, needs or situation. And they were really fixing or addressing the same things that we were planning to. And so, at the end of the day, we were happy for the domain industry and
Yes.
that it was receiving what it needed, but we knew it wasn't the place for us and we didn't move forward. But yeah, so I think that's hilarious that was 2012. I know because it's right when all three of us left GoDaddy. And
what was the price then? Do you remember the price then?
I don't.
Maybe.
I'm not going to say.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Was it more, less, more?
Not much.
Not much.
I think you did well with inflation. Not just inflation, but truly the valuation of domains has gone up more than the asking price did. So I think you did just fine for yourself.
What I am happy for is actually that Munir did not buy this domain name. I can say it publicly. Munir later on disclosed that he was considering this domain name.
No
and
kidding.
with the resources, he had the resources, but it was just way too expensive. And I have to say, thank you to Mike Mann. He's probably not watching, but Mike Mann, thank you for pricing it that high. And for all the business owners, I am a business owner. I'm a user. From user's perspective, it is great that your great brand, your great.com, is sitting and waiting for you. It is great that it is actually priced very high.
Yeah, you don't hear that every day, Helmets. You're the most optimistic person I've ever met.
But then it allows you to come and it allows you to come and to buy it. Munir didn't buy it just because of the price. Just because of the price.
Yeah.
And I would be really pissed if he did buy it. I have to admit. He went for the 9 days.
I don't see you as in competition, with.
No, but he knew my he knew my brand. It was London Domain Summit.
Every industry does well to have some competition, or
absolutely, but
it's not monopolies, right?
So but in this case, it is not though. But if somebody goes after your brand, well, he did really well with the main days. I'm
It was
sorry.
extraordinary. Yeah,
Yes,
I've never
and
been.
he has domaindays.com, and he has domaindays.com.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning domain name. Absolutely
And
love
it's funny because our industry is doing just what we
it. Yes,
see the internet doing, the trend of we need to get together, we need community, and we need small groups. We need groups that we feel drawn to and that we belong to. And while the domain industry in general is quite small and everyone is welcome, it's nice to have one closer in your region, right? I met people in London at
yes,
yourdomainsummit.com um, that that had never been to a conference before or that rarely come to conferences
yes.
or who could spend extra time because they weren't, you know, because they weren't taking days to fly somewhere different. They had the time to spend an extra day visiting and having meetings and g- deepening relationships. And then I saw the same thing in Dubai at Domain Days. So
Fantastic event. It
yeah, I
was
really look forward to seeing our industry continuing to do that. Or the ICA members meeting, which I think starts Wednesday, January 17th, I believe, or maybe Thursday, the 18th.
it starts on 17th. Yes, the registration starts on 17,
Yeah,
and
and that also it's historically been a little bit smaller, and it's what it's
yes,
really well known for is how tight knit that group has become over time and how they've supported and developed each other, right? And you can do that when you're spending the day playing pickleball for 2 hours together or going on a hike. Which activity are you going to do? We have like 5 activity choices. For
I haven't got a clue actually. I tried getting Camilla on the stream just to understand what are the plans. Camilla, please come and tell more. And I was clueless. And also we have posted full breakdown of activities on DNForum. I
okay,
know that I tried to apply for Sphere a few days ago, but it was full.
yeah.
So, but no problem. I will go there myself. I will go there myself. Probably when I
Okay,
fly
so
in.
for
I
anyone
will book
listening who
tickets
doesn't
and
know, Las Vegas has this wild new thing called the Sphere. I believe it's
yes,
thesphere.com. And it's this giant sphere and it looks really cool from its like aerial perspective or which in Vegas means every hotel you're at, you can, if you're at high enough, you can see it from somewhere else. And sometimes they'll make it look like a smiley face or they'll make it look like the globe or whatever, right? Because it's a big circle and you can do whatever. And we're but that was that's for the night before the event starts, and
yes,
it's a little smaller, and it was like first come, first serve to get into that.
yes. First
But
15.
and it's just opened up. It's like I don't think, I mean, besides Amar who lives there, I don't think really anyone's already been there before, right? It's that new.
And there are a few videos on YouTube or on TikTok, and it is amazing. This morning, every morning, I'm having this early coffee, 6 a.m., 6:20 a.m. with a co-founder, with a co-partner of the largest teaching agency in our county. And with Gary, we both sit and talk business for 15-20 minutes, and then we go into. So he goes to his
In
office, I stay
person
in mine.
or on Zoom?
No, in person. In person. We have this interesting. I return from the gym. He comes in from the gym. That's it. And we have our morning coffee. We chat a little bit about business, about private life, and then we start working. And
Nice.
this morning he said, Helmut, I remember you told me that you are going to Vegas. You have to go to Sphere. Let me show you something. And yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the
You'll
videos are
go.
amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yes.
Yeah, that looks cool. And then, so that's the night before the event
Yes.
officially starts. And then there's a period during the actual event
Yes.
when the members get to do just some activities. So you can go, there's a special lion park, and you can see some lions, or you can go play some pickleball, or you can go hiking. Um, and that there are like 5 choices or something.
Oh,
Um,
so really, so people will be scattered and they will go into 5 different directions.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually, so I have an email from
Yes.
48 minutes ago that says they've extended the deadline for small group activities. So the choices, oh yeah, the choices are the Red Rock hike. That's what I've chosen to do.
Okay.
Although it's really hard for me because I also wanted to do pickleball. Then there's a mob museum, then the lion habitat, and then of course Top Golf. But we have Top Golf here where I live as well, so I'm okay without that.
And what is a Red Rock hike?
It's a hike of an area about 45 minutes outside of Las Vegas
Yes.
called
Yes.
Red Rock. There's a pretty beautiful, famous spa and hotel there, but there's also just these lovely mountains that I've never hiked.
Oh,
I
fabulous! That will be my place.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard, they make it a comfortable enough hike for everyone of any level of physical activity can do it. I heard last year they didn't like go to a summit or something because that would be too much push, push, go, go.
Yes.
So I think everyone is welcome, and even the pickleball, they're having some classes.
Okay.
So
I know that Ryan now is training quite heavy for the
uh,
pickleball. Oh yes, he's very, very determined.
I believe it. Well, he's up against some tough folks. Well, so I think they're very inclusive. So,
Yes.
Amar, Mike Seiger, I'm guessing Shane. Oh, I know Stephen Kennedy. They all play pickleball quite a bit. And I mean, I'd be afraid to get on the court with them. But I know other people like Brian Harbin, his wife is coming, and she
Oh,
doesn't play
Brian Harbin is
pickleball.
coming as well. Very nice.
Absolutely.
From Grid Brokerage. Okay.
Yes.
This will be amazing meeting him.
Yeah. Oh, you've never met him?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't met many people.
Yeah.
Yes,
You two
sorry,
will
go on,
really
yeah.
like each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I know, I actually forget what Brian said he's doing, but I know his wife is going to pickleball, and they're offering a class. So it's not like you
Okay.
have to go beat Amar and Mike Seiger all by yourself. Like, pray for me.
Yes.
There are beginner classes and easy, fun pickleball also.
Yes, I've seen many criminals in my life, like real criminals, and mob museum isn't really something for me. Well, they are great in movies, they are great in movies, and in real life they are different. And they can live their life. I've got my way, entrepreneur way. They've got all their way. Crime right now. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, Red Rock hike sounds really, really awesome, and I love the nature. And I know that you really like walking. Do you still walk in? Do you do still the morning walks?
As often as I can, yeah. So I I love to hike. I'd say is
Yes.
like my primary favorite thing. But some days, like it's not something I get to do every day. I play pickleball like once or twice a week. I'm actually
Also,
I scheduled today's pickleball around you helmets. So yeah, it's like can't go play pickleball till I'm done here. So
thank you.
yeah.
Tess, how do you organize your work? You are working from home, or do you have a small office that you are taking somewhere in a co-working place? Or
Yeah, so I've worked from home since 2012. There have been periods where I have an office in my home, and periods where I have, a sectioned off part of a room where I work, right? To be honest, my favorite place to work from is my couch. But yeah, so I try to, when I first quit GoDaddy to work from home, the first thing I did was read a couple books on how to work from home, how to structure your day,
really?
I don't default to structure. And so I'm aware of that and make sure to incorporate that. So I try.
Yes. Go on. I would love hearing that. It is one of my tasks now. Hey, Helmut, organize your day. Please. Yes.
Do I have a book for you? So first of all, one of my favorite books in 2020 that I read with Jason Shepard, who will be he passed away this past summer, and we'll be recognizing him next week at the ICA event.
Okay.
So Jason and I met once a week during COVID via Zoom to read a book together. Well, we read 2 books together just to like do a little book club.
Wow. Awesome. Yes.
Yeah. And one of them, his suggestion was actually, I'm like, shoot, what is it called now that I'm saying all this? What is it, like the power of the what? Everyone has read this book, The Power of One Thing: How to Intentionally Change. No, that's not it. The Power of One Thing by Gary Keller. Oh, it's not called The Power of One Thing. Let me start again. It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And the surprisingly simple truth about extraordinary results. And he really just basically says, figure out what one thing will affect everything else. Where do you keep your North Star? What do you focus on? So that book, I think, is great if you're looking to focus and get organized. And then I had a productivity planner that, it's interesting. I just said it in past tense. But I still have it in this. I'll go through phases where I use it every day and I don't. I see it right now. It's the one that I use is used by intelligentchange.com. I bought mine on Amazon, but I very specifically wanted this one. And what I love about it is that it really focuses on what are the top things I need to do this week? What are the top things I need to do today? And then if I have free time, what are the other things I'll do today? So it helps create that matrix. And I don't think this is right for every personality type, but Helmets, you and I have very similar personalities. And I think when we see big picture and almost like a million floating things above our heads, and it's like, which one do you focus on? Where do you conquer today? And you
need to address many at the same time. Yes.
Yeah, especially when you have multiple projects. Yes. So I find I'm not only most effective and productive when I utilize tools like this, but I'm the most satisfied, right? Because we don't want loose ends and things floating around. We want to say, I've intentionally chosen to focus on this, and I've intentionally chosen that this can wait, right? So works for me. I'll send you a link.
Thank you. I will. I have found my best way is I need to plan the events, definitely, all the year up front. So I have huge A0 calendar on my wall, on my office wall, and there are all the events that I either like or I'm going to.
Okay.
And then I have one monitor just above me. I have monitors in 3 layers, 1, 2, 3, 8 monitors. And then one is dedicated to calendar only. I have to admit, I have missed quite a number of meetings just because you start working or you are in one meeting and then you realize, oh my God, I have missed a meeting. And the worst thing, you keep, sometimes there is one company and you miss the first meeting. Then you miss their second meeting and the third one. And you think, Helmut, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You don't miss any other meetings, but with one company, you miss two or three meetings in a row, and you feel horrible.
I think sometimes our brain, our synapses.
So for that reason, and I think the last time when I missed the second or the third meeting with free name, I felt horrible. And I really like and love what they are doing. And
they are so smart. They're so on the ball. And on top of that, they're really nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
and I think that's actually a huge key to their success and potential for success. because people feel uncomfortable about Web3, about, learning the vocabulary, about not being as caught up as the other
Yes.
people in the room. There's a lot of insecurity. And it helps that they're just so warm and hospitable and inviting. I was doing I love both the SWOT analysis and the pest analysis. I
Okay.
love those. And I was just beginning to sketch one out for something. And earlier today, and that just makes me think of like that should literally be on their analysis of what makes them stand out, what's a great asset that they have. It is because the tech world, in general, it doesn't have such high social and emotional IQ as they do.
Oh
So
yes, and they are diverse, and Eleanor is doing great, and they founders and Davide and Matthias and Matthias and Mattia, I think, yes, all three of them, fantastic. All are so different. Love it, and plus they are making friends in industry. So after missing the other meeting with them, I felt so horrible. So I did set up a separate computer that has only the calendar. And I set up the sound, and all the notifications are on, and my Google calendars are on one screen. And after this, I think after that I have missed maybe only one meeting. Yes, it did help.
progress, right? Yeah, we don't have to be perfect.
Yes, and sometimes we all make mistakes. And then I have to make sure that nothing is seen here. This was my morning thing. There are some numbers and possible acquisitions, so I'm really careful showing it. Yes,
Domain acquisitions, or
no, only I'm interested only in the and only here. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see. Big plans. Big plans, of course. Either. Yes. We all need to grow somehow. Yes. So the old good. You take a piece of paper, A4 paper. You fold it in half. Take a pen. Write down the main things for today, or all the things that would be great to be done, and then you start addressing them one by one. I have found that's the best way for me.
Yep.
Is there something that you have discovered over this year working? Maybe something new. So, for example, for me, I have learned my lesson not to do meetups. Finally, Helmut, don't ever do meetups in bars. Never, ever. And I had to learn it in real life. Many people know that. They have heard it from others. Somehow I hadn't heard it, or I had missed it. And finally, it has hit me.
There are many things I think we learn from experience, whether we've heard it or not. That's just how the brain is designed. What's your preferred place for a meetup now?
I will be experimenting.
Okay.
I like offices. I'm thinking of more private one. I just read this amazing book. I love James Altucher.
Okay.
Have you heard of James Altucher?
I'm not sure. How do you spell the last name?
Just type in as you feel, ALTHU. It should give up.
Got it. Oh my gosh, I love his smiling face.
He is as famous as Tim Ferriss. For me, he is much like he's at higher level than Tim Ferriss for me. He's one of the top podcasters I follow.
Okay, so
The
his
guy
book,
is
Reinvent Yourself, The Choose Yourself Guide to Wealth. Oh, The Power of No.
Talking about the power.
Read the book, but I've read pieces. Yeah.
And there was a recent, and sometimes he reads a book and he invites writers. It doesn't matter the writers are big or small. And there was this rather probably, I would say, smaller writer, Nick Gray. And the book is The 2-Hour Cocktail Party.
Huh.
An introvert guy goes to New York. He doesn't know almost anybody. And he starts doing parties. And cocktail parties that are only 2 hours long. in his shared apartment.
Oh,
And what doors it opened, and his experience, and how to do cocktail parties and networking parties. And so the 2 hour cocktail party is an absolutely fantastic audiobook. So by Nick Gray, the 2 hour cocktail party.
we have a good reading list, so I like this.
Oh, yes. I'm sure your reading list should be very interesting as well.
Yeah, well, I've never read that one, so I will by the time I see you in Vegas.
Yes, it is. It is really interesting, and I'm tempted trying that. I have tried doing some events, networking events in offices, and I did one at IT.com's office. Have you heard it?
I
Yes.
saw the pictures. Yes.
There were very few pictures. There were more of us. It was absolutely fantastic. Really, there was one thing missing, and only after. But it was fantastic. We overstayed a little.
Okay.
And this is something I took from the book, 2 hour cocktail party. Good host knows where to cut.
Yep.
That's it. We are done. 10 more minutes and we are finished. And if you want to carry on talking, there are nearby bars.
Yep.
That is the only thing probably that I think.
And it's the same as being a guest in someone's home.
Yes.
Better to leave when people want you to stay a little longer than to overstay your welcome. And when you do that as a host of an event, they want to come back instead of saying, oh, by the end it was dragging on and it was awkward to leave. It's the last taste in their mouth as they walk out the door. You want to be, no, I want more, rather than, oh, I would have liked to have left 30 minutes ago.
So and now I have some very, very interesting friends in London. And there is this guy from Nigeria who has lived here for a long time. His partner is French, beautiful lady, and a fantastic guy. And he and his partners, they are finding leads for venture capital investors, for the fat ones, not the small ones, but for the fat ones in London. And they've got fantastic building. So nearby Victoria Station, there is an office building, 4-story building. And they have the whole 4th floor is theirs. You can go up with an elevator, private doors. They have their offices there, and I'm planning to do an event there.
Ooh,
so for the next one, and then I will invite. I will invite, of course, Andre. He will see Roland, somebody else, and some of my contacts and the main name. I will be doing more of those small networking events in London.
That's such a good idea. I wish I could just spend 6 months in London and go places with your friends. I feel like you must have such an interesting, eclectic group of friends. Not eclectic, varied, and really, really across the gamut.
So what about you? What else have you found? Interesting, maybe interesting discoveries.
In domains, outside of domains, what are we talking about?
I thought in life, maybe in life, in business. Every year we discover things.
Yeah, I think this past year I've really focused on who I am in business. And, this is my second time being self-employed. The first time was about 9 years. And restarting that with, it's neat, just like a new year, to have a fresh start, new perspective, new plans, and really having the maturity to understand my own agency in guiding myself, right? And in choosing where I want to focus my time. So I've really appreciated that. I've loved traveling this past year. I've traveled more than I have for maybe ever, but definitely for a long time. So, yeah.
So attending lots of events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, London Summit was really the first one for me. I mean, I did NamesCon as always, but
Yes.
for me, that's super local. That's maybe like a 45-minute flight. Yeah, when I leave NamesCon every year, my departing flight from Austin, Texas, leaves at the same time it lands in Phoenix, because between the time difference and how short the flight is, you just leave and land at the same time. So that doesn't really count to me as traveling. Just like Vegas. Vegas, there's no time difference, I don't think, but it's like a 45-minute flight for me. So
Tess,
yours,
when you go to an event, what are your plans? And this is one of the things I have discovered, and I have fully accepted for myself, that it doesn't matter if you go to an event where there are 100 people or 2,000 people. The number of people you meet and you really have a chat with will almost not change.
yeah. Well, and I don't know what it's like to be an introvert, so I wouldn't, recommend my approach to everyone, right?
Yes, yes,
I'm a super extrovert. It gives me energy to be around people and crowds.
yes,
So I think I have a real advantage in that way. Um, Generally, I try to do a perusal of who's, the public list of attendees.
okay,
I would say these days, most events I attend, I'm either, moderating or emceeing. So I'm usually, looking at the speakers and interacting with them ahead of time. A lot of them, even if, the host of the event may not be asking me to coordinate or do anything, but behind the scenes,
yes,
um, it's pretty typical for the speakers to reach out to me, and I'm sure anyone else in my position, and ask a bunch of questions that they don't want to, ask you because you're busy, or they feel bad, or a lot of times they'll ask me for a little bit of coaching. It varies, right? Not everyone has the same comfort level on stage or experience up there. And so I enjoy that part of it. And then there's, meeting regular attendees, there are old, legacy relationships that are
yes,
important to check
yes.
in with. I love to bring a couple thoughtful gifts. Although a couple got taken from from security. Um, I don't want to put any countries in a negative light, but I lost a couple gifts along the way. Um, and they weren't bad or weird. I was just surprised. Um, and and then I really try to leave some time for surprises, right? Sometimes you meet someone and you just click. I met someone, I don't have her permission. Like, I'm not just going to say her name. I
Yes.
met a lovely woman from Tokyo, and the moment we met, we just knew there was something special in our, chemistry. And so one of the next times we met was in Hamburg at ICANN. Shout out to your awesome little tattoo behind you,
Okay.
a sticker from Hamburg. Uh, yeah, great flask from
And
Team Internet.
yes, absolutely awesome.
And D-Neck handed out these great tattoos of the anchor, the
Oh
symbol
yes,
of Hamburg. But so when we were in Hamburg, she and I, instead of having a traditional meeting, which we needed to have, um, she wanted to do a walking tour of the city, like a private self-led one.
yes.
So we did that instead. And that was a lovely surprise. Like, I always have that extra time worked in. And so it really deepened our personal relationship, but it also helped, move business conversations forward. And I had such a great time. It was one of my highlights of my time in Hamburg. So win, 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 right? Business growth, personal relationship growth, and super fun touristy thing to do. So I think it's important if you have that luxury. Like, I recognize that's a privilege, to be able to do that as well. So
One thing I'm struggling with after the conferences, after the events, the follow-ups, especially if you have event. How do you deal with follow-ups?
It's really incredibly challenging, especially
Yes.
with factoring in jet lag and travel time, and you have a family or a life or a dog or a house maintenance when you get
Yes.
home. The So I've been making some choices, right? Like one time I said, I should do this on the plane, work my whole way on the plane. And I realized, no, I shouldn't. My brain is telling me rest,
Oh,
recover,
you're
travel.
totally empty. Of course, you're empty. You need to
Yeah.
recover after an
So
event.
I try to set the first 3 days when I return home um, to have nothing else on the calendar, but to then schedule in from 10 to 12, I'm going to do follow-ups each day.
Okay.
From 2 to 4 each day, I'm going to schedule meetings. Whatever it is that you generate, like I chunk into boxes. What are the items I need to do when I return from travel? And mine are typically send emails, connect on LinkedIn, schedule meetings or conduct meetings.
Yes.
So I'll chunk them into those boxes and then I'll set for those 3 days, because if I have nothing scheduled on those 3 days, I'm going to wind up just sleeping, right? But if I set on my schedule, it's not empty. It's from 10 to 12, I do this box of activities. And then I give a nice healthy break. And then from 2 to 4, I'm going to do this other type of activity.
That's great.
So that
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not totally not doing it either. That's worked for me, but it took me a handful of times to try it out.
I really like the way that you put it. 3 days. So 3 days after the event, that will be one of the priorities, and I will try to do that this year as well.
It's hard
Yes.
now I have on my calendar something like, okay, we're going to,
And those who are watching, we are not the only ones. I go to so many events and almost nobody follows up. It is the problem of us as human beings, and we all want to be more effective. Sorry, I did interrupt you. Yes.
that we're having a
Yes.
conversation. Yeah, so now like I have something like the ICA is the next one on my
Yes.
calendar,
Yes.
and I'm leaving on Saturday. So
Okay.
then I mean,
Oh,
I'll be there let me rephrase that, helmets. I will be attending from a Wednesday until a Saturday.
okay. And you will
So
be, and you are there on 13th, on the Saturday 13th.
no, the next Saturday, the 20th.
When are you flying in?
I'm going to fly in. I'm looking at my phone here.
Yes.
I fly in on Wednesday, the 17th.
Okay, I fly in on 16th. I
Oh,
fly in one. I do fly in one day early, just in a case if there is a jet lag. Just in case, I need to be effective.
Yeah,
And
that's really, really smart.
I
Yeah,
need
I
to be.
understand
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm open to changing to the 16th, so we can talk.
Yeah.
But I plan to fly in on Wednesday, the 17th,
Okay.
and
Yes.
I plan to fly home on Saturday, the 20th.
Okay. I'm flying away on 21st, just in a
Okay.
case if there is somebody, or maybe I really want to go to Penn and Teller's show.
Do you?
God, I
I've
love them.
never been.
I
I
love
know.
them. I will definitely look them up.
Okay. All right.
Outside the dates, of our
Mhm.
event, because
Well, you
for
never
me, I
know.
see ICA is the priority, nothing else. Like anything can happen outside the world. I don't care. I'm going there for ICA.
Yep.
Really.
Yeah, you got it. See, you're focused on what the one
Yes.
thing is, and then other things are if there's leftover time or energy.
Absolutely.
I'm looking, the ICA members are invited to a Discord. Are you in the
Discord.
Discord?
Uh, I need to check it. I do have a Discord, but I haven't seen that Discord channel now.
Okay. I mean, literally, I'm gonna go in there. I'm
I will
kind
check
of looking.
I will check Camila's emails.
I'm just gonna
She's very
say,
good. I
hi
should have this.
all. Is anyone attending uh, a Penn and Teller show around the ICA event. And we'll see if anybody says yes, right?
Interesting choice, Discord. Interesting choice.
Yeah, I don't know why or how that came about.
For those who are trying to create communities, I would highly advise to avoid Discord. Highly advise. It is not new member friendly. It takes time, challenge for new users to understand the platform. So I would very so those I do know lots of these places, and one of the issues with Discord is but it is a great platform.
I have an 18-year-old whom I ask, I'm like, what do I do?
You
Where's
see,
the message?
but isn't that horrible that you need to go and actually ask? So from the technology side, when they create a technology like Discord, they need to hear that feedback. Hey, people are having difficulties finding. Yes, but that's okay. Once you learn it, it is cool. It works. It is great. Yes, once it works, you just need to get over it.
Yep, fair enough.
Okay, fantastic. This is absolutely awesome. So maybe one thing for everybody to think about in the next upcoming year, and something maybe more about professional, the things how we do business or how we behave when we do business. From you, Tess. Take away.
Well, I think if I were to summarize our conversation on that topic, I definitely think, choose what your North Star is, know what your main goal is, and then know what's a secondary or tertiary and organize around. And I think investing in your resilience, your mental health, your, when we beat ourselves up, we're just wasting time and energy. And so investing a little bit of time in growing your skill set in that area might pay off to help keep focused on the your primary focuses anyway. So I know that's definitely been really, at the end of the day, that's summary of my life story. And maybe all of ours, right? So yeah, I think that's my thought for 2024. How about you?
Yes, you just mentioned the words mental health, and it just triggered some very painful memories of the last year. I did meet few individuals who are having severe mental issues, sadly, and and people don't realize it. Anyways, take care of your mental health and your North Star. I love it. I love North Star. I really love it. And connect maybe with Tess. Tess, thank you for telling me that I have to connect with Otis.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. Oh, so Otis Global.
They are fantastic.
I know.
And talking about different communities, I went and checked their community, and they've got 4 domainers in the footer from the UK. And I don't know any of them. I haven't met them. They are probably at Itcom Domains. There is SEO Jesus. Those who don't know, look up SEO Jesus. He's absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Well, I do want to give full credit. I met all of them through Sean Markey, who is absolutely brilliant in his SEO and understanding of domain names. The best person I've ever met in that arena. His website is ranktheory.com. He has the funniest newsletter. It's incredibly informative, but it is the funniest, best written newsletter I have ever read on any subject. In fact, I know very little about SEO, nor do I need to, and yet I read his newsletter regularly because it's so well written. So yeah, there's another resource for you.
This is absolutely fantastic, Tess. I look forward seeing you, and
I can't wait.
This will be awesome meeting you and Joe. I still need to find that point. I like Joe so much. I have so much respect towards him. He has so much that I haven't achieved, and in the personal field, really, I admire. That's awesome. I look forward to seeing you soon in Las Vegas.
Me too. And sign up, because they extended the deadlines to sign up.
Yes.
But hurry up and sign up. And if you don't see the email or the link, let me know offline and I'll send it to you. But get that done.
Thank you. And all the nice people, awesome people. Connect with Tess Diaz. Tess, what is the best way to connect with you?
LinkedIn. Find me on LinkedIn. Yep.
And Tess, you are most welcome occasionally to use DNForum.com.
Thank you. We should have covered what great shout outs to DNForum.com yesterday during the ICA call honoring Howard News Lifetime Achievement.
Yes.
There were multiple shout outs to how DNForum.com played such an instrumental role in the development of a domain name community. And I was giving you extra smiles on the Zoom.
Thank you. Yes. And,
on the Zoom,
and for all the domainers, DNForum is back. It is not for sale. It is strong. It is strong and friendly and good for the business. Please come and say me hello. Say me hello at DNForum.com.
Here. All right. All the best for 2024.
Bye. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Are you running a domain business? Did you know that we offer premium memberships at acorndomains.co.uk and DNForum.com? One membership for both forums. DNForum.com is the oldest active domain name forum in the world, with over 536,000 members and established in 2001. Acorndomains.co.uk is the main online community for the UK domain investors, with over 15,500 members and established in 2004. We offer different premium memberships to help you to reach your business goals, starting from an individual membership, which includes numerous perks, to a platinum membership. For more details, please visit either of the forums or simply leave a comment on this video and we will contact you. Thank you for considering our premium membership. We look towards helping you to